Breaking news in the world of nutrition. Now, before we jump into this study, which was recently released looking at the association between dietary fiber and the severity of depressive symptoms, I want to remind everyone that dietary fiber intake has been linked to cognitive function and preventative for the risk of cardiovascular disease. Now, in this new study on depression, the researchers included over 28,000 participants and divided them into non-depressive symptoms, mild, moderate, and severe depression. They also divided up fiber intake into vegetable sources, fruit sources, and whole grain sources. People with low fiber intake had the highest risk of moderate to severe depression symptoms. Now, it's important to note that in this study, when they broke down the types of fiber, it did not hold for fruit or whole grain sources, only for vegetable sources. The authors hypothesized that foods rich in fiber are also rich in other nutrients, vitamins, minerals, anthocyanins, and antioxidants. This could be contributing to overall better brain health, therefore decreasing the risk of depression. The authors also postulate that depressed people tend to eat more ultra-processed foods, which are lower in fiber as well as low in nutrition. Study, fiber intake was divided into tertiles, less than about 12 grams, 12 to 18.7, and then greater than 18.7. When we contrast this to the cognitive function studies, cognitive benefit did seem to plateau at about 34 grams per day. All of the studies on fiber intake did include males and females, but did not deaggregate the data looking at how much fiber from females versus how much fiber for males. And similarly, in the cardiovascular data, they saw cardiovascular disease was significantly reduced in all three meta-analyses with the highest dietary fiber intake, reducing the risk of developing coronary heart disease and stroke somewhere between 7 and 24%, as well as reducing their overall morbidity. And how much for cardiovascular disease prevention? 25 to 38 grams per day. Here's the rub. Americans are not getting enough fiber in our diets. So I recommend tracking your fiber intake. Not calories, fiber. Specifically, females in perimenopause and menopause are only getting about 10 to 12 grams of fiber in their diet per day. That is only half of what they need.